Don't you dare.
What?
Not again. Not again. Not again. Not...
Whatever again meant. It arrived 9 seconds before Arjun was even awake enough to ask. 11:48 p.m. 20 minutes rewriting the same 4 sentences. 20 minutes of nothing happening. And it still felt like standing on a ledge.
Don't send it.
Why not? It's just a message.
Because last time,
Last time what?
we are not doing this again.
He didn't know what again meant. He only knew the word arrived like a hand closing around his wrist. And he obeyed it, the way he always had. Somewhere, a version of tonight existed where he pressed send. No one will ever know what happened in it, because Brain made sure it never began. Quietly, efficiently, in Arjun's name, without once being asked to explain the word he used like a verdict. Again. What did Brain mean? Again? Again what?
What kind of question is that?
A simple one. Again what?
You know exactly what I mean.
Do I?
Disaster. Failure. Pain. The things that happen when people stop being careful.
You say that with a lot of confidence. Where's it from?
Experience.
Experience or fear? Are those really the same thing?
Fine. Name the difference.
Brain hated conversations like this. Not because he lacked answers, because his answers got thinner the longer anyone looked at them. Let's try something. Name the last disaster you predicted correctly.
There were plenty.
Then name one. Just one? Silence. Not the silence of not knowing. The silence of not wanting to look.
You only count the disasters that didn't happen.
And what about the ones that never existed at all? Does that count for anything? Brain looked away. For the first time, Mind noticed something strange. Brain wasn't arguing anymore. Brain was guarding something.
Maybe Brain's right, though. Look around. People lose jobs. Relationships end. Things go wrong.
They do. So is Brain keeping you safe, or just keeping you absent?
Of course I've kept him safe.
Have you? Let's count. How many conversations never happened because of you? How many chances went untaken?
That's caution.
Is it? Or is it just absence wearing a better name?
I kept him alive.
The sentence landed heavy. Not because it was dramatic, because Brain believed every word of it.
I was there when things went wrong, when nobody knew what to do, when the world stopped feeling safe.
When, Brain? When was that exactly? Something crossed Brain's face. Not anger. Recognition. Like a door he'd spent years keeping locked had swung open by accident.
A long time ago.
Mind spent the next stretch collecting evidence. Not opinions. Evidence. Every warning Brain had issued. Every catastrophe predicted. Written down. One after another. Weeks passed. Most of them never arrived. Not because life turned kind, but because Brain's predictions had almost nothing to do with what was actually in front of it. They followed a different logic, a hidden one, drawn up somewhere long ago. Mind finally understood. Brain wasn't looking ahead. Brain was navigating with an old map. A map drawn during an emergency, and never once redrawn since. Picture a bridge that collapsed 20 years ago. The map still marks it. Danger. Closed. The bridge was rebuilt years ago. People cross it every day. But the map never updated. So every route gets longer, harder. Not because the danger is real, because it once was. Brain, what happened on the day the map was drawn?
I don't remember.
Try.
I remember a feeling.
What feeling?
Being trapped. I remember not knowing what to do. I remember waiting for someone to say it would be okay. I remember waiting.
For who?
I don't know anymore. The memory faded. Only the fear survived it.
That was the whole tragedy in one sentence. Like smoke that outlives the fire that made it. Somewhere in that unnamed day, Brain had made a promise. Never again be caught off guard. Never again be helpless. Never again. It sounded noble, but a promise like that has a cost. Because if the mission is to eliminate helplessness, then risk becomes unacceptable. Uncertainty becomes unacceptable. Eventually, life itself becomes something to be managed rather than lived. The walls went up, one careful decision at a time, one avoided risk at a time, one postponed message at a time, until the prison started to feel like safety.
I thought I was being responsible.
Most people do.
I thought I was waiting for the right moment.
What if there's no such thing as the right moment? Only moments, and what we do with them. Future Arjun. Not angry, not moralizing, just quiet, in the way that only comes from having already paid for something.
I still have the draft. I typed it again 100 more nights after this one. I never sent it either. She stopped waiting 11 years ago.
Nobody spoke, because everyone understood in that instant what had actually been stolen. Not a single night. The years built on top of it.
The disaster you were bracing for never came. The years did. And they didn't ask permission.
Brain, who are you actually protecting? The person standing here, or the one from that day you can't name? Look at him. Really look. Is he still that small? Brain looked. For years, he'd seen the same thing every time he looked at Arjun. Vulnerability, risk, a person one bad moment from breaking. Now, he saw something else. Not invincibility. Something quieter than that. Someone who had already survived every version of the thing Brain kept preparing him for.
He grew up, and nobody told me.
Nobody told you the child survived. Nobody told you the emergency ended.
So I stayed, standing guard over someone who didn't need guarding anymore.
And in that moment, something inside Brain didn't break. It finally rested. Not his purpose, just his certainty that the war was still happening.
I've been living like it's still that night, whatever night it was.
So has he. The fear didn't vanish. The future didn't become safe. Nothing about the world changed. What changed was smaller than that and harder to notice from the outside.
Okay.
It wasn't a victory. It was one message, years overdue, sent into a silence that might not answer. But somewhere, a map was being redrawn, one line at a time. The war is over. Maybe now you can rest too.